So, are you playing fantasy cricket this season? Hi, you're at the right place. Welcome back to VUSport Scouts. I'm Peeyush Sharma and I've been joined by two absolute legends. And we'll try our best to add as much value as we can to your fantasy team with our data, numbers, trends, and years of experience of our scouts, both on field and off field. Please welcome our first expert who, in his playing days, made life difficult for the bowlers, but now is making life difficult for his fantasy opponents. And of course, the memers as well. Please welcome our very own Mr. Wasim Jaffer.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you here, sir. Our next expert is making a comeback on the show on VUSport Scouts, and we wish he makes a comeback on the field as well. He's of course from South Africa, but people say he's not from this planet. He can score a 31 ball 100. He can score a 222 ball 33. He's one of the greatest and one of the most loved players in the history of this sport. Please welcome Mr. Abraham Benjamin de Villiers.
Thank you, Peeyush. Nice to be here.
Welcome back, KB. Very happy to see you once again.
Thank you.
So, gentlemen, same drill. You know the format. It's Lucknow versus AB's RCB. So, Wasim sir, your first fantasy pick for this game. We are playing at DY Party.
Piyush, my first safe pick would be KL Rahul. He always goes against RCB. I mean, every knows that KL Rahul has got fantastic record against RCB. He's former franchise and he's in absolute great form. He's got 100 in the last game, so I'm backing him to be consistent. He's always in the running for the orange cap. So yeah, KL Rahul is always a safe bet. So I'm going with KL.
Very obvious pick coming after 100 in the last game. Average of 83 against RCB, has scored over 500 runs, 250s, 100. So very safe and sensible choice if you're going for captain in small leagues. AB, who will be that first safe fantasy pick for you?
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. I was also thinking along the lines of Deepak Huda or Marcus Stoinis. There's lots of talent in the Lucknow side, but I'm going to have to go for my RCB boys. And I think someone who looks like he's in good form but hasn't really come off yet is Virat. It feels like my safe pick as well. You always know what you're going to get out of him, and once he comes off on the day, he's definitely going to win you some points. So Virat Kohli will be my pick.
AB, before I ask you your second fantasy pick, I want to know what is your thought process behind selecting these players? It is purely on the basis of experience playing with and against them, or is it you also go with the data?
It's a bit of both, I think. I go with my instinct and my gut feel, knowing what the players are capable of. Virat might not have had his best season last season, or he hasn't shot the lights out like he has before. But I know what he's capable of. I know the experience that there is, and I know there's a lot of hunger, particularly this season, not being captain. I think he's got a lot to offer with the bat, and he's a lot more relaxed maybe, and I'm expecting fireworks from him very soon.
AB is definitely expecting a big knock from Virat. AB, he's doing everything perfect. He's timing the ball really well, but I feel he's running out of luck. So do you have any suggestions for Virat? Yeah, the last time you said, watch the ball, and he started scoring runs.
Yeah, very, very true. But I'm not there at the moment, and it's difficult for me to give a man advice that scored so many runs. I mean, he's done 900 runs before in an IPL. I mean, no one has ever even come close to that. We know what he's capable of, and I'm holding on to that, and I have a lot of faith in him.
I remember you were backing him to score 600 runs this season. So AB is definitely expecting a big knock from Virat. Wasim bhai, your second safe fantasy pick for this game?
My second safe pick would be Faf du Plessis. I think he's due for big runs. Unfortunately, he's got out. He's tried to hit. He's got fielders. So I feel Faf du Plessis has to come good. He's far good a player to miss out 2 or 3 times. So I'm backing Faf du Plessis to come good in this game.
Of course, he struggled in the last 2 or 3 innings, but Wasim bhai is definitely backing him. There's only one bowler in this lineup who has dismissed him more than once in T20s. That is Jason Holder, who's dismissed him twice. Very good matchups, and Wasim bhai is definitely expecting a big knock. AB, who's your second safe fantasy pick for this game?
Yeah, my second safe one, I always like to go for an all-rounder, someone who can contribute with both bat and ball. And I'm going to go for opposition team for me. It would be Lucknow. So it was either going to be Marcus Stoinis, Krunal Pandya, or Jason Holder. But I'm leaning towards Marcus Stoinis. I think we've all seen big fireworks from him. We know he's probably going to bowl an over or two, and he's got this knack of picking up a wicket or two. So if he can come through with a quick 550 and pick up 2 wickets, he's always a safe bet. He's always in the game.
I remember you went with Dwayne Bravo in that first game, KKR versus CSK, and Bravo picked 3 wickets in that game. So that was a great choice. And this time you're going with Marcus Stoinis.
Absolutely.
So VUSport would recommend you to go with Glenn Maxwell or KL Rahul as a fantasy captain. Glenn Maxwell is looking in great touch with the bat, has great matchups. Ravi Bishnoi against Ravi Bishnoi is a strike rate of 275. Never been dismissed against Avesh Khan, Marcus Stoinis, Dushmanta Chamira. Of course, he has great bowling numbers as well against his batting lineup. Has dismissed KL Rahul twice in just 4 innings. So Glenn Maxwell can be a very good captain choice along with KL Rahul. Wasim bhai, who's that one player to avoid that you would like to avoid in this game?
I would be leaning towards fast bowlers, Peeyush. So I'll go with Chamira. I think he had a pretty bad game in the last game. He's been out before that. Even in the last game, he gave close to 50 runs, picked up only 1 wicket. Doesn't look like he's got many options other than bowling that Yorker. So if he's not nailing that Yorkers, very unlikely that he's going to give you most points. So I'll be leaning towards Chamira to leave out in this game.
So Wasim bhai is avoiding Dushmanta Chamira. And I'm not going to ask this question of EB because he has a lot of friends playing in this game. But I have a lot of questions for you from our viewers. First one is David Brewis. What a player. Was he this special always, or he has developed as a player in the last few years?
I think he's always had the talent and the ability, but he's certainly taken a next step in his cricket over the last season or two. I think he's picked up a lot of confidence. And same with all of us that have good IPLs. There's a track record of picking up experience, spending a lot of time with a lot of experienced players, and then 1 or 2 knocks that sort of break the shackles and allow you to sort of go to new heights with your cricket. And I think that's exactly what happened there.
Can we expect you and Brevis batting together someday for Titans or maybe in a charity game?
I think it's unlikely. My boots are hung up. I leave it over to him now, and I'm very excited to see what he's going to be capable of over the next few years. I think if he can find a way to turn those 30s and 40s into 80s or 100s, he's definitely going to become one of the greats. He's got the potential, he's got the ability, and you can see he plays with a lot of confidence now. It's just a matter of switching the mind on and being able to change gears at the right time.
So he's doing really well, but his team is not. Any suggestions for MI?
It's tough. Mumbai have come back from that before, so I'll never put it past them. Rohit is still there. We know what they're capable of as a team. I think things happen quickly in IPL, in T20 cricket. Before you know it, you lose 5 in a row or 6 in a row. It's a matter of really slowing it down, making sure you do the basics well, and allowing youngsters like Brevis and a few others to really express themselves. But in order for that to happen, you need a good foundation. And I think guys like Rohit and the more experienced guys, Polly, Bumrah, etc., must really focus on doing the basics extra well to allow the youngsters to show some play.
Definitely. Wasim bhai, moving to our next segment. Who's that one high risk, high reward pick for you?
Well, I think Peeyush, I'll go for Virat in this category because I think he's just quite a few unfortunate ways that he's got out. I do really feel for him because he's got out twice, run out very close ones, one LBW given when he had hit the ball, which is very unlikely to happen. I mean, it's been happening for Virat for a long time, and I hope that the good luck turns into him. And he plays that kind of innings that we all know what Virat is capable of. So picking him is a risk, but I think I'll take that risk because he can give me great rewards. He's a class player and he has to come good. It's been a far too long a time, and I'll back Virat to come good in this game.
AB Wasim bhai is going with your best buddy. Who are you going with? Your high risk, high reward pick.
I think Dinesh Karthik, the form he's in at the moment. He's won RCB 2 or 3 games already. He looks like he's in the form of his life. I don't know where that comes from, because he hasn't played a lot of cricket. But man, he looks in good form. He plays around the wicket, 360 degrees. It really almost makes me feel like I want to go back and play some cricket again, watching him play. So he really gets me excited. He plays under pressure in the middle order. He's got a lot of experience. If he keeps this form up, RCB has got a good chance of going a long way up.
I think I've heard the 360-degree term for a great player once. Quite a few times, actually. He scored 197 runs, strike rate of 209, dismissed just once. What exactly is doing correct? And did you expect this performance from Dinesh Karthik this season?
Not at all. I'm incredibly surprised. I didn't expect it. I've always known that he's a very capable player. He's a nitty-gritty kind of guy. He likes the high-pressure situations. He's a busy player at the wicket. But he hasn't played a lot of cricket. I mean, before the last IPL, I saw him doing commentating in the UK. He wasn't really playing a lot of domestic cricket. And I thought that he's possibly at the end of his career finishing up. But he surprised us all, I think, showing the intent that he's shown, the energy, the passion for the game again. I mean, you can see it from a country mile away. And when a player plays like that, with that kind of confidence and that passion and hunger, he's always dangerous. With that kind of skill that DK's got, I mean, he's an incredible player, always has been. But when he brings that hunger and passion to the party, he becomes a dangerous player.
Virat was interviewing DK last night, and he said that AB must be watching somewhere in Pretoria and must be very proud of DK and, of course, RCB the way they are playing.
We're very happy, very lucky actually to have someone like that, so experienced in the middle order this year, and we've reaped the rewards out of that so far, and hopefully that'll continue.
Wasim bhai, RCB or Lucknow, who do you think is going to take those 2 important points in this game?
Well, I think Peeyush, it's very difficult to say that now, because I think both the teams are very evenly matched. I mean, RCB have won without and Virat scoring runs. DK has pulled it off himself, like AB has said, and Shahbaz has contributed well, even though Maxi has done okay as well. And same with Lucknow. Rahul got a brilliant 100. They posted a very big score and they defended that. So I think it's going to be a very evenly matched game. I think Lucknow has got more bases covered, I would say, with the kind of all-rounders and the batting. But I think it's going to be very difficult to choose a team. But I would probably go towards Lucknow, since I know that AB is going to say RCB. So I'm going to go Lucknow.
I'm not even asking if RCB is winning from AB de Villiers. I'm just asking, is this the year? Are they winning IPL this season?
I certainly hope so. It's a very good start. We've been known as a team that don't really start well in the IPL. We generally 2 out of 6, 1 out of 7, stuff like that. So we've always been behind the 8 ball and sort of fought our way back from there. This time around, it looks like a really fresh start, some new faces, new energy. And what I like is there are some calm heads right throughout the team, from the top order right down to the middle order, with the bowlers, Josh Hazlewood, really leading that calmness in the bowling attack. You can see that on telly watching it. It just looks like it's calm and controlled. And I mean, Faf's captaincy skills with the backing of Virat, it just looks organized, which I really like. The problem is, looking at the Lucknow team, there's a lot of talent there, and a lot of match winners. So it's going to be a good game. Obviously, I'm leaning towards my RCB boys, and the reason for that is the experience and the calmness they've shown right throughout the 40 overs. So hopefully we'll show more of that.
So if I have to summarize AB's answer for RCB fans in one line, all he's trying to say is, "Isala Cup Namde."
Isala Cup Namde.
So just a few more questions from our viewers who have asked us a lot of questions from you. Sagar Dutt is asking from you, hello AB, considering your fitness, you could have easily played cricket 3 or 4 or even more years. Why don't you think again about taking a retirement back and play again for your fans? It's not a question, it's more of a request.
Yeah, I hear you. I would absolutely love to. The only problem is, in my mind, I've moved on from the game. I know physically I'll probably still be there. but I could not deliver the same kind of energy over and over again anymore. And the minute I felt that it would be unfair towards the team to be there when I know that I can't really hand out the same kind of passion and energy. That was the main reason. Understanding that for 2 months of the year, I'm not going to be able to give that anymore. And it was honestly just a honesty call to call it a day and to make sure that I sit on the side and sort of just help the boys on to go and win it. I'm praying over here in South Africa that they'll pull it across the line.
Okay, next question. Who's your second favorite team this season? Now with Chahal and DDP in Rajasthan Royals, can we expect some support for Rajasthan Royals from EB?
I actually watched last night's game. I enjoy all the teams, and I have some friends in all the teams. But last night's game, the Titans, David Miller scoring those winning runs, it made me feel like, you know what, I think that they're my second team with Gary Kirsten there as well. I've got a lot of ties with him, and I hope they do well.
What a knock that was. Very special knock from Killer Miller. So thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you, both of you. And as usual, had a great session. And hopefully we'll see you once again in our next preview. Hope you enjoyed it, AB. Wasim sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time once again.
Always enjoy it. Thank you, Peeyush. Thank Wasim. And all
Thanks,
the best over
AB.
there, guys.